If you want a premium set of headlights for your 2019 or newer Ram 1500, but you don't want to completely break the bank doing it, these switchback sequential LED turn signal projector headlights with the matte black housing and clear lens will be a great solution. Now, I would like to mention that these will only work with Rams that have the factory halogen headlights, so just keep that in mind when you're looking into this set. Now, nonetheless, this will be a fantastic addition to your Ram if you're looking for a drastic change in styling with a more aggressive and premium appearance to the front end to modernize the Ram compared to the simple and underperforming halogen headlights. These will also be a great solution for better confidence when driving at night thanks to the improved design, so if you need that better visibility, these are going to be right up your alley. These will feature a very modern appearance with, again, that stealthier look thanks to the black housing on the inside while offering full transparency to the clear lens on the front for optimal lighting performance. On the inside, these will feature an H7 high and low beam paired with a projector lens, which, although still a halogen, these will offer way better performance with a more concise and uniform beam pattern emitting 1100 lumens a light bulb, so 4400 lumens when the high and low beams are on collectively. Now, the star of the show here is that large running light up at the top and down low here that's going to give a very sharp and modern appearance with a pretty cool breathing effect as well, and we'll switch back to the turn signal to make you more visible on the road to other drivers for obvious safety purposes and also style. Now, these will be built very well with a tough ABS plastic housing that will offer an OE style fit, so you won't have to question when it comes to the install, and a clear impact resistant lens on the front, so you won't have to worry about any kick up on or off road, keeping the headlights looking new and holding up for years to come. These will also have a quality seal to them, so there is not going to be any water or dust that could potentially get in and fog up the lens inside or harms the bulbs inside. These will also be DOT and SAE approved and have a plug-and-play setup for a straightforward install. It is going to come with a wiring harness for the running lights, but it's very straightforward, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. Now, like I mentioned, these will have a lot of features and benefits of a premium lighting setup, but will not have that premium price point, coming in at roughly $700. Now, compared to other options, these are going to have a super sleek design with the light bar and the projector lens setup, especially with the matte black housing, overall giving you that stealthy yet modern look to the front. Now, where you do save a little bit on price is the integration of the halogen bulbs compared to a full LED setup. However, you're not really compromising a lot compared to the full LED setup, considering the great lighting performance that you're getting here. Now, I think if you want an all-around solid headlight setup that will transform the way that your Ram looks and functions, then this set is going to be a great pick. Now, install will be a lighter 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter because you do have this wiring harness here, so it is going to take you a little bit to get these installed and wired up and this tucked correctly. So I would say about 2 hours to get the job done. However, at this point, we can head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get these onto your Ram at home. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a clip remover tool, a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters, 8 and 10 millimeter sockets, a 10 millimeter ratcheting S-wrench, a few zip ties, and a couple microfiber towels. What's up, guys? Today we're installing a set of headlights on our Ram. First, we're gonna watch a quick little uninstall video for removing your stock headlights, and I'll meet you right back here for the install.
So for this install, you're gonna need to pop your hood, remove your upper rad cover, the grille, and some of the surrounding trim. It's a pretty simple process. I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing. So let's get started. So we're gonna start by removing our upper rad cover. There's a bunch of plastic clips that need to be removed. So I'm gonna use my plastic clip removal tool and pop the heads of them open. And then once I get those all removed, I can pull the panel off. And we're gonna pull this panel right off. The next piece we need to remove is the headlight trim and grille trim here on the top of the vehicle. It's a combination of a pop clip and 10 millimeter screws. So I'm gonna use my clip tool once again and a 10 mil socket to pull all of these out, and then I can just remove this piece from the vehicle. Next, I'm going to use my 8mm socket to remove some of the screws here on the inner wheel well and pull the liner back to expose a little bit more hardware that's hiding behind the liner so I can get this panel off that surrounds the headlight. So now that I have the liner pulled back, I've exposed this 10mm bolt here inside the wheel well liner, and I'm going to use my 10mm on a ratchet and just pull that out. Now I'll just repeat this process on the other side. Next, I'm going to need to remove my grill. There are 3 10mm bolts at the bottom of either side of the grill, and there are 4 across the top. I'll just use my 10mm socket on my small impact gun, remove all of those screws, and pull the grill off. So now that I have my grill removed, I can go ahead and start unbolting and unhooking my headlights. I have a clip here at the top as well as a 10mm bolt, and then I have a 10mm bolt here on the side from the fender, and I'll just use my 10mm socket and my clip tool and pull those out, and then I can unhook my headlights. It's a little hard to see, but I'm just going to unplug my headlight connectors from the back. Just push down on the tabs to release them, and then you can pull the headlight out.
Now before we install our new headlights onto the truck, we need to swap over the connector for our side marker. So we're going to twist counterclockwise, pop that out, pull the bulb out, plug it into our connector on our new headlight, and then twist it clockwise to lock it into place. So now we'll twist counterclockwise and pop that out. We'll wiggle out our bulb. Now the side of the connector with the 2 prongs is the side that the white wire is going to be going on. So we'll plug that in, shove our wires back inside, twist clockwise to lock it into place, and we'll do that same thing for our other headlight. So now we're ready to wire up our new wiring harness. We have a fuse tap that's going to go into our fuse box at the F35 fuse. And then we have a connector for the driver's side, which is the shorter side, and then a longer wire to a connector that's running over to the passenger side. So we'll get that into our fuse box, and then we can run our wires cleanly. So now we can come to our fuse box and press in these 2 tabs on the side to pop off our cover. And now we're looking for the F35 fuse, which is this 10 amp right here. You can use a pair of needle nose pliers or the included fuse pullers. We'll pop those out, and then we can get onto that 10 amp fuse. And then we can put our fuse tap in right in that fuse's place. Pull that tag out of the fuse box. And we can put our fuse pullers back and reinstall our cover. So now we can grab our first connector that's going straight to the driver's side, and we'll just drop that down into our headlight bucket. And then we'll take the other side connector and run that across to the other side. And now that we have our connector run to our passenger side headlight bucket, we can go back and zip tie up our wire. And now we can zip tie our wire. And then you can use a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters to cut off the excess. So now we're ready to install our new headlight. So we'll plug in our 3 connectors and then get it into place. Next, we can reinstall our 2 bolts. And then we'll just get everything lined up and take our 10mm socket to tighten them down. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall our grille. Next, we can reinstall the 4 bolts at the top of our grille. And then we'll grab our 10mm socket to tighten all of these down. Now we can reinstall our upper trim. Next, we can reinstall all of our bolts. And then we'll tighten those down with our 10mm socket. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. And we'll tighten those down with that same 10mm socket. Next, we can reinstall our radiator cover. Now we can reinstall our 6 push clips per side. Now we can do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall our 3 bolts at the lower corner of our grille. The shorter one is going to go towards the outside of the truck. And then our 2 longer ones will go on the inside. And then we'll grab our 10mm socket to tighten these down. And then with our bolts installed, we can reinstall our cover. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall that bolt that sits right here. Now it's gonna be hard to see. We'll get it through our hole. Start threading that into place. You can thread that in most of the way by hand. And then I'm gonna be taking this angled ratcheting wrench to tighten that the rest of the way down. And then we can replace our fender liner and reinstall our 3 bolts. Next, we can grab our 8mm socket to tighten these all down. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Switchback sequential LED turn signal projector headlights with matte black housing and clear lens for your 2019 and newer Ram 1500 with factory halogen headlights. Thank you for watching, and for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.